Hi there, survivors. A new week brings a new episode of The Garage. Today you'll learn how we plan to change contact weapons, where Broken Arrow soaring shuttle comes from, what to do with inflatable mammoths left from April Fool's Day, and much more. Let's go. Among the weapons we've been refining recently, we've paid the least attention to contact weaponry. What? You thought we forgot about it? Not in the least. We're planning on seriously increasing the appeal of saws and spears. As it is today, contact weapons are more of additional ones. Fighters remember them only when they have spare energy. This is supported by stats. There are fewer and fewer players in close-range battle, while the number of installed saws is rarely more than 1 or 2. It's worth mentioning that despite the decent balance of characteristics and energy demand, the effectiveness of this weaponry is still poor. Why? It's currently impossible to install more than 4 to 6 contact weaponry units on a ride. When it comes to Harvester, it's more like 2. Close-range crafts aren't easy to assemble. They're created by survivors with extraordinary designer skills. When in contact, you often notice that the damage is done by only half of the weapon. Moreover, it often interferes with itself. It's different in convenience with spears. The ammo is quickly expended, and there's no sense in further fighting. Many of the survivors are familiar with the situation when the enemy is already fixed and can't run away and only seconds away from being eliminated. But the explosion of the generator either destroys all the weapons or leaves you with just one saw. These are not all the problems, but they're the critical ones, and they will be fixed first and foremost. Which changes are we in for? We plan on increasing all contact weaponry resistance to explosive damage in order to decrease the risk of its elimination by generator or ammo blowing up. Collision models will be remade to decrease the risk of slippage during the ram attack. This should increase the efficiency of each separate part while also making designing the close-range combat-oriented ride easier and more comfortable. Damage dealt and durability will be increased. To balance the updated parts, we'll increase their energy demand.
I don't like contact weaponry. What should I do to protect myself?
Many parts of the game have resistance to the contact damage. Perfect examples are bumpers, blades, and passive close-range weaponry, like cutters. These parts will help you survive the attack. Mechanical legs and caterpillars also possess resistance to razors, saws, and spears. The enemy will have to sweat to bite through to the cabin. These changes won't solve all the problems which gamers face, but this is the first serious step. Let us know in the comments whether you like it or not. Psycho Pete approves this section of the show. The changes kick in from April 19th. Or not. Sometimes they're shifted or don't get in the game at all. This happens. We're happy to announce a couple of more humble changes which will happen today. For example, we've changed the operating principle of accelerators. Now, to make them work, you need gasoline, but not fuel. The supply is limited. Avia Booster has 60 points. Rocket Booster, 80. Hermes, 100. It may be increased by installing additional modules. We're also gradually refining and amending Battle Royale Mode Arena. How do you like it? By the way, talking about maps. There is a story about friends who love to discuss scientific issues. One, as a proud Dawn Children representative, deemed it his duty to enlighten his negligent lunatic friend. Such unusual friendship has become a one-of-a-kind landmark in the valley. The visitors never miss the opportunity to observe the scientific dispute of the new century, while drinking something strong. So, one day, the argument arose on the question of a seemingly unshakable belief, the form of the Earth. The mad one adamantly claimed that the Earth is flat, and has always been like this, while space is a fiction, created by those living before the Crossout. The scientist was infuriated by the ignorance of the friend and hurled all effort to dissuade him. He showed him old books, bored out his scientist colleagues. He even asked Riley. Nothing helped. The two of them went tooth and claw, and the friendship has turned into a feud. The controversy went on for several months until Lunatic's patience was out. He found a person in the wastes who used to work in the space program before the Crossout. Under his direction, he cleaned of the dust and sand an old shuttle on Broken Arrow, put his friend inside it, and sent the poor fellow off on orbit. Happy now? This should definitely set the record straight. The plan was perfect, but only after the start of the shuttle it became clear who the specialist from the wastes really was. He was a janitor in the Mission Control Center. As you can see, this is all true. The shuttle starts off several seconds after the start of the combat on Broken Arrow map, but never returns. What does this mean? Should we be worried? Should we start looking for the wreckage? April Fool's Day is over, leaving survivors with not only fond memories, but also with one very important question. It even keeps the lunatics awake. Even Dawn children can't answer it. It's literally hanging on everyone's minds. What the hell do we do with these many inflated mammoths? Initially, the balloons were created for camouflage reasons, but eventually turned out to be plain hilarious. If you've acquired this decor in a melee, there are several options. Sell it on the market.
Make funny animals for the kids.
Hang up 20 of them on a craft with porcupines. Wait, what? The last option is too much for you? Come on. Everything has already been done for you. It looks like this. While on the move, the inflated barrels are ridiculously flapping to and fro. One of the mammoths is even hanging on the backside upside down to make it even more funny. While the enemy is wiping his tears of laughter, you may turn your back on them and sock a couple of fuel barrels. The tactic is dubious, but in this case the provocation is obviously better than efficiency. Is it possible to make the same ride with inflated rockets? Hardly. However, you may hang up quantum with those, and it will fly. Yeah, we know. You didn't dream of the future like this, but it's the one you deserve. The scientist's cabin may find a better use. There is a new item in our favorite category of screw tanks, Bore, with 7,665 points of power. It shoots with 2 Fat Man cannons, which guarantees quite decent damage. There are no problems with maneuverability, speed, and acceleration are acceptable. Under the hood, hot red, dangerous generator, and increased ammo. This combination might already be considered classic. Radar detection device and chameleon might be excessive here, but why not since the energy allows? The looks are very good as well. Even the drawn eyes on the body look very organic. You can feel the efforts in design and die-in. In addition, the craft is fully symmetrical in main axis. Bore doesn't do anything exceptionally outstanding on the combat field, but all the test matches played on it ended up with a victory. It's probably luck, and the team helped, but the designer deserves a credit. The work done is laudable. 4 out of 5. Well, that's it for today, survivors. Fight, train, design, and trade. See you in a week right here in the garage. Tell your friends about the show if you like it, and leave your comments. We're always ready to hear you out. So long.